Yo, what's up? It's your boy Logan, and today we're gonna make a video breaking down my latest song, I Don't Care, stylized IDC on all streaming platforms. So, we're gonna run through the beat like this. But then like usually when I'm making my beats first, like at first I usually have like two verses, so it can at least feel like something full, and then I would have maybe a bridge here and there. But sometimes for me a bridge is not necessary. So this is the chorus, verse, chorus, verse. Right here is the bridge, chorus. So let's go through the bridge as well. So it's gonna go like this. Let me run it back again. It was not playing nicely. So, firstly, what I want to do is like just explain like the melodies. Most of these melodies, just turn off the 808s and the drums. Most of these 808s, most of these melodies, first of all, are like loops. Cause like there's this one day that I was just like playing around with loops, just doing some shit on it, just fucking around, and then I just put some drums onto it, and then that's how the whole beat comes about. And I'm like, oh damn, this beat sounds really sick. Yeah, so I ended up using it for myself, and then recording a song on top of it. And then yeah, so firstly we're gonna run through this first one, this main melody. cymatics, like their vibrations pack. Let me just see if I have it right here. Yeah, let me just see. It's one of their vibrations packs, and you know I've been using it since the beginning of the album's creation, like the whole Incandescent album's creation. Yeah, I've been using that, and if you hear it in one of the earlier songs, like Cure Much on the Before the Light EP, the 2-pack single that I dropped before the album, like yeah, you hear it as a counter melody for Cure Much. So this one I try to I'm now flipping it and using it as a main melody. So now I put the hardcore plugin onto it, you know, to make it sound a little bit full, because when it's playing off on its own, it kind of sounds a bit dry. It kind of sounds a little bit like that kind of thing. Like it's not something that I would really like to use as a main melody. So it would sound like this. Yeah, so it sounds pretty good, but for me, the way that I want it to be, I want it to have that full surround sound thing in it. That's that effect within it. So now, this is the atmosphere that we're using for it. To like whenever a beat feels like it's missing, sometimes maybe it just needs an atmosphere. So I used this loop over here. And let me just turn off the effects real quick. And the reason why it sounds the way that it sounds in the official one is because I put these two hardcore plugins, using the preset of Chill Out XS and Guitar Pad XS. So these ones are the effects on how it just drowns it out, spaces it out, you know, creates that atmosphere within it. So, and I didn't want to have too many guitars clashing with each other with the melodies. Some counter melodies need to be its own melodies, and some of them just need to be their own, to be like atmospheres. So this one just created the perfect atmosphere for the song. I mean, solo, it sounds pretty loud, but it's so situated at the bottom, because when I'm mixing the whole beat with itself, like I want it to sound completely in the background, because like usually, like the rule with atmospheres, they have to be the ones that sound the lowest amongst all the melodies. So, and then we have this other melody that kind of plays off the whole thing. It's I use two counter melodies within this one, or two or three counter melodies. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of pads. There's a lot of atmospheric things that are going on in this beat. So it's this R&B melody from Cymatics again, the Oracle pack, really good pack. They have like lo-fi, they have hip hop, they have other, and they have they have reverse melodies. They have all of that. So this is how it sounds. So mind you, this when I make my beats, I like to situate it by structure and how the song feels. So I'll run over the beat like 5-6 times until I find, okay, like maybe there's something missing here, here, and there. Okay, then I add into it. Then I put something into it that might blend in with it. You know what I'm saying? And then we have this reverse melody loop that goes like this. yeah, nothing much to be added there. Didn't add anything onto the effects. You know, just took this one and just pitch shifted it 200 cents, 200 semitones. Yeah, each one has been like has been altered and pitched in its own way. Some of these ones don't sound the same way that they sound, you know, originally. So if we go into the file location, let me just see where I can. Yeah, that's this the counter melody. Yeah, you know. So yeah, it sounds like that. But I usually don't like the D key, so I shifted it up like 200 semitones, 200 cents, or like two semitones up, whatever you want to call it. Fuck yeah, and with this other one, this counter melody that goes into it, it's this counter melody. So this counter melody comes from. So it just sound like this completely, and then after that, I'll also use this one just to play off of this reverse melody, which is also Cymatics Oracle pack, you know. You know, and then within the patterns of the drums, this is how they sound like. So with that is like this. I also use a loop for the drums, but then just to give it that extra bounciness, but not to like not on the kicks or anything, but then just on the hi hats to give it that little bit of variation. This is how originally the loop sounds that I use for it. Yeah, and with the grow speed that I added, the grow speed effect that I added onto it is this half a beat gate with the beat, and then just alter the basic grow speed pad with it. Me my own one. And then with the 808 is that there's two 808 patterns going on within it, and one is like one that has a high octave. They just one is a high octave and the other one is a low octave, and the low octave is used to give it that punch, that just just to uplift, what's going on, and just increase the song intensity a little bit more, just a little bit. So it's this pattern right here. So, and then the second one The second melody is on a low octave this time. So just to give that little punch. And within the verses, you know, there's also this start off bass hit, this underlying bass that goes into it. But how originally that bass sounds without the effects that I added into it, which is the ballad clean FG, which is one I use for all the guitars, all the guitar melodies and other melodies that were into it, you know, that I just played that had an effect on it. And also what I did was like cut out everything that was going on within the guitars and just let the bass have its own thing. So without it, it sounds like this. And just locating these samples. So that's how it usually sounds. And yeah, that's it. That's how I created most of the shit. And you know, within the verses, with the 808s, is that I like to use a second octave within the verses to give it that punch. Because I want the high octave to just be in the first part of the chorus, and the rest of it to be just to be the low octave, just to have that punch within it. And then we're gonna go forward into the bridge, which is this melody right here. So that's the original one, and with the gross beat added into it, it has this half speed onto it, and then gives off this other half speed, this other melody that's much more quicker. So it goes off like this. Sometimes I like the 808 to just play off on its own, you know, or just like play off like and just have this weird, you know, unpredictability. So usually it would sound like how I would play it, you know. But then there's this one thing that I like to do to the 808s, going back to it, and that's this thing over here on the gross beat. You know, just to delay it a little bit, just by a small little beat, you know. And then onto the drums. This is the hat that I usually use, the Cymatics ever after hat. Just something simple. And then there's this rim shot that I like to place on top of the snare, place underneath the snare, but then I will bring it to the forefront when it's the bridge. So that's the snare, and this is the rim shot. And within the rim shot, yeah, that's the way I like it to sound. And you would see by over here I separated the stereo just to make sure It goes within both sides of the headphones without me having to pan it twice, you know. And then the kick just stays within. Fast distorted, you know, just something like an overdrive or something, you know, some oomph just to give it that punch. Then just like bass drum punch, and then the generic kick preset on parametric EQ too, and then compressor, drums. That's it. Yeah. And then I don't think there's anything more to explain. So here is the full song, and matter of fact, the full instrumental of I Don't Care. And here it is. Yep. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace out.